Father Ro Atilano of the Society of Jesus, and I am currently the head of the campus ministry office and chaplain of the Ateneo Junior High School. I started going to Mass at Greenbelt Chapel while I was working at SGV and Company, which is very near the Greenbelt Chapel. And there were many times I had to work late in the evening, so it became part of my routine and part of my schedule to really drop by and thank the Lord and just rest in God's presence in that beautiful chapel. My job was really challenging, and I had to go and work very late in the evenings, and even in the weekends had to do a lot of overtime. And at one point in my life, I felt that I wasn't really happy with what I was doing, and Greenbelt Chapel became a place where I can be myself, where I can talk to God and start discerning about my deepest desires and listening to God's voice. But oftentimes I go to Greenbelt Chapel just to rest, try, and just be with the Lord. Even before I started working at SGV, I was, active already in my Catholic Renewal group, and that's why while I was working there in that auditing firm along Ayala Avenue, I wanted to look for a place where I could continue praying, where I could talk to God. And somehow I was so happy because I found Greenbelt. It was amazing because you won't notice the chapel in the middle of the busiest business district, in the middle of a mall complex. And it was just perfect because even if it was in the middle of a mall like Greenbelt, I still could find peace and serenity and silence in that place. And because I come there regularly and almost every day, I felt that God became a closer friend to me, a best friend, so to speak, who would listen to all my resentments, my fears, my weariness, and even my joys. Greenbelt Chapel is very important to me because I started really seriously discerning about the possibility of becoming a priest there at the chapel. I have confronted very important questions in my life in that chapel. Like, is this really what I want to do in my life? Is this what I wanted to do for the rest of my life? And somehow I was able to really look into my deepest desires and start talking to God about the possibility of becoming a priest, becoming a Jesuit. And it all started there. That's why I'm very grateful to Greenbelt Chapel. And now every time I would visit the chapel, it's like visiting an old friend. It's like visiting somebody you know, who knows you very well. And it's not just nostalgic, it's almost like a reunion once I visit Greenbelt Chapel. Well, during the pandemic, I wasn't able to visit Greenbelt Chapel because, it's quite far from where I am right now. And because of the health quarantine protocols as well, so I wasn't able to visit regularly or recently, and I wish I could visit soon. There was one night I came to look for a priest for confession, and after confession I just stayed there and I cried. I cried a lot that night. I admitted to myself that I was tired. I finally admitted to myself that this is not the life I wanted to live for the rest of my life. I finally admitted to myself that I wanted to serve Him for the rest of my life, that I love Him more than anything in the world. And finally, I decided to go home. that night, I decided to go home and teach at the university. So I became a full-time accounting instructor for a year, and then after a year, I worked with a special project of the government for a couple of years, and then after that, I was ready to say yes. So I entered the Society of Jesus after that. And I'm very grateful to all the visitations I had at the chapel, at the Greenbelt Chapel, for it was really the beginning of a kind of a serious discernment and really looking into myself and following my deepest desires. Greenbelt Chapel is a refuge.